Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Sword Art Online 2 episode review. This one's going to be for episode 5, Guns and Swords. And yeah, this is the episode that feels the most like, at least so far, the one that feels the most like episodes from the first season of the show. That there's more episodes, it there's more scenes in the episode. They're not just focused on like one or two scenes, and it just you can tell they're kind of into the story now. It's not so much introduction, like we're trying to introduce you to like a new main character, set up this mystery. No, we're into the story now. We're into the action stuff. The bullets has started. Last little bit of introduction stuff out of the way, and then kind of nice cliffhanger ending to the episode as well. So all in all, pretty good episode, and interesting where we open up, obviously, with the 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 ending of the kind of rush to sign up for the Bullet tournaments. They of course get there on in time, but we get what seems like a pretty random scene, but it's actually very important in that it's the scene where they have to enter their personal details into the machine to sign up to the tournament. And Sinon obviously enters her details in perfectly fine, but Kirito is kind of wondering, should he or should he not? He's on this mission. There's the potential that real stuff could happen. So he ends up getting rushed and kind of rushes it and basically doesn't enter his details. It ends up being very important in that it means that he can't be targeted by Death Gun because of the way Death Gun locates his victims and stuff like that in the real world. Obviously, that hasn't been explained up to now just yet, but that's what ends up happening. But interesting that they set this up as the scene where basically kind of all of that happens. That he gets most of the player information by basically figuring out the information they entered into these terminals and stuff like that. So important scene, even though it doesn't seem like there's really anything of note going on. After that, you basically cut straight away to start of the bullet tournaments, and just obviously the reveal finally comes out. Kirito is not actually a girl, and Sinon realizes this, and of course they have to do it in a kind of hilarious way where they go to the kind of ladies' changing room, and Sinon is ready to get changed because she thinks Kirito is a girl, but Kirito then realizes like, whoa, this has gone too far, and just without even looking, just looking at the ground, kind of admits like, this is who I am, and she reads it off, and she's just like, male, and of course she slaps him, and it kind of creates a rift between them that he's kind of, he hasn't lied to her, but he's kind of kept this from her up to now. I don't think she's like incredibly angry at him, but you can tell that she wished he kind of just said it from the start. But you can see her kind of strong personality coming out here when she doesn't want to help him, but at the same time he is kind of so helpless at times. So she ends up still giving him the final little bit of information just before the tournament starts. Just with regards to the how the tournament works, they're both in Block F. When it gets down to it, they will meet in the finals of Block F. But if that ends up happening, they will still both get through to the final round, the actual Battle Royale bullet tournaments. So they kind of set that up that obviously this is going to happen. The two of them are going to fight at some point, and it's going to be interesting to see how that works. Kirito wants to be super up close, isn't so good at range, whereas Sinon is amazing at range, but how good will she be up close? So they straight away set up the difference between the two, but that it would make for a pretty interesting fight, just how it would actually work out. And yeah, because she's kind of a little bit angry at Kirito, she obviously is just like, I'm going to beat you. And you see a little bit of kind of Kirito's kind of cocky gamer side come out here, where he's kind of like, he starts kind of becoming more confident in his skills, and a little bit of trash talk comes out. It's just like, okay, when we get there, it'll all work out, and I'll beat you and stuff like that. And you can tell that she gets very easily annoyed by some of the stuff that he says. Kirito finds it easy to kind of get under Sinon's skin very quickly. So you can tell that he's much more experienced in this sort of a game setting, and he gets to her more so than almost anyone else can get to her. While this is happening, you obviously do get the introduction of kind of Shinkawa introduced to, or Kyoji, I'm just going to call him Kyoji. Uh, Kyoji. In game, and basically he meets up with Sinon before the bullet starts. He sees Kirito, which is obviously important because Kyoji ends up being Death Gun. And the suspicion begins to start for him, which leads into the scene towards the end of the episode. But from there, we basically just get Kirito's first round match in the tournament. And again, really interesting way that they do the fights here. It's very different than what we've seen before, which I like that they do this in the between the different seasons. All the fights are very different. This one, because it's all about range, there's a lot more stealth to the fights. In that at the start, Kirito has to take cover, and then the guy is in the kind of forest area, and Kirito has to kind of calm down and use his really kind of keen sense of kind of sensing abilities in the game to figure out where the other person is, and then he's kind of doubting if he can even get up close. Like, it was one thing to defeat that obstacle course and earn all that money. It's a different thing in a live gunfight to actually, like, dodge bullets, but he kind of regains his composure and realizes that basically the key to this is that I'll use the bullet prediction lines and I'll dodge some of them with my agility, but the ones that are going to hit me anyway, I'll block with the sword. So it's this really interesting idea that he can block everything just by using his agility plus his sword skills to his advantage. And it's a really cool way to do a swordsman in a primarily gun game. And then he uses the actual handgun that he has to kind of close the distance, like stop the opponent from reloading once they've wasted their ammo and get that final step up close. And yeah, as I said before, easy one hit kind of kill up close, and he wins. But he said it clearly was a bit taxing on him, the amount of effort he had to put in, and he's kind of like, I still have to do more of this. So cool fight, just getting to see gunfights. Some of the animation was really cool here, like the one bullet you think is going to hit Kirito right in the head, just suddenly the sword comes out of nowhere, and you just see the bullet melt into the beam sabers. Just really cool shot there. But the most important scene of the episode is definitely the last one, where he comes out of the tournament, Sinon's still in the middle of her match, and Death Gun appears behind Kirito, and without directly like asking the question he wants to ask, he just kind of asks, "Are you the real deal?" And after saying this a few times to a shocked Kirito, it's very clear that what he's referring to is, are you the Kirito from Sword Art Online, the kind of master swordsman? Because he was watching Kirito's match. He saw him use a sword really well, really fast agility, has the Kirito name. Are they one and the same? So straight away Kirito kind of gets into his mind, how could this person possibly know me? And then SAO comes straight into his mind, but who could it be? And then as Death Gun goes to walk away, you see just on the wrist there the symbol of the laughing coffin, and suddenly this like bomb drops again. Really big moment in the series that Kirito realizes that a laughing coffin member is Death Gun and has shown an interest in Kirito, and suddenly he's thinking that this could actually be a big thing. Something real could be happening here, because the Laughing Coffin and SAO were a murder guild. They had orange and red players, and if they're playing that way again, they could have found there must be some way of them doing something. So straight away it makes this guy more of a threat, that it's linking into stuff that's happened before and bringing up these kind of old memories for Kirito. Like, it's been a year, I think they said at the start of this arc, since SAO, and now it's all being kind of dredged back up, and you begin to see what they're going to start to address here. You don't get it straight away what exactly they're going for here, but they will get into that very soon. Basically next episode addresses this, but really cool reveal how it links into the previous arc, and a great cliffhanger to end the episode, having Death Gun and Kirito meet for the first time. It straight away gets out of the way. Kirito, for like a second in this episode, suspected that Sinon was Death Gun because of what she said about the tournament that she's going to kill all the strong players. And that is purely just that she is so eager to get past her fear of guns that she sees the only way to do that as basically beating all the strong players and winning this tournament, and that will get her over her fear. Plus, she honestly just does want to win the tournament. She's competitive and has that drive to actually win. So, a lot of interesting kind of things going on here. We obviously know that Kirito doesn't know yet, but we know Asada's fear is of guns, and when that's going to come out, Sinan's going to find out next episode. I suppose begin to see a different side of Kirito with regards to his reaction and how he's feeling now after this encounter with Death Gun. And it's just going to create this interesting dynamic as we kind of go on in the series. So, a solid episode, some pretty nice scenes, but overall, like nothing too incredible. You got the fight scene and the big cliffhanger scene at the end, plus some nice Kirito-Sinon interactions. But it's still early days in the arc yet. There's still a lot of stuff still to come. But overall, I like this arc, and this is a good episode. So that's been the review. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on the episode and the review. Other than that, thanks for watching, and bye.